park facing, 29 meters wide frontage, and sub-divisible.
Show to 2 MRT stations, Junction 8 Mall, and near top schools.
Bungalow and even semi-detached seekers, stay tuned for this episode of Huttons Landed Division's
Live Open House.
Hi, welcome back. I'm Willie. You know, for our live open house, for every episode, we always strive to bring you something new, right? And today is the first episode to start 2025, and obviously the team have something to present and to share with our viewers, which is instead of presenting our objective views, right, on every house that we have done, this time round, the main content, a lot is actually based on real feedback collected from real buyers who are actually seeing the house after a series of open houses conducted by the team here. So we're going to share with them what are mainly some of the main likes, right? What do they like about this house? Some of the challenges they have, and which comes to the main point of today's house tour is how do we actually overcome some of these challenges. So this is something new. We're just not going to sell the house because I think a lot of people like our program for being very authentic. So we're going to actually suggest and share all this very candid feedback with you, and of course the suggestions. So again, back again to start the year with detached, I think has a reason, because detached houses, you know, are getting rarer by the day because a lot of them have been subdivided. So so you see these numbers dwindling. In fact, in entire whole of 2024, less than 6% of all houses they're transacted or sold, right, in District 20, where we are now, are actually only detached houses. And among them, actually, why we chose today where we are, Clover Avenue, right near Bishan, among the less than 6%, 50% or 3 of them were actually sold in this vicinity. So of course, hopefully we hope to start the year with yet another sale here. All right. But with this is, of course, we come back to the location. Why is Clover Avenue or Clover Estate right in Bishan District 20 so popular? The first main reason you can see, I think, familiar to many viewers out there is how central District 20 or Bishan is. If you look at the map here, it's really geographically right in the center or in the middle of the entire island, meaning the accessibility to different parts of the island, whether it's the north, east, west, or downtown central, is equally accessible.
Definitely. Because close walking distance, we can reach 2 MRT stations. There is Bishan and as well as the Circle Line. All right. And then not only that, we also have the Junction 8 Mall, also walking distance, and surrounding it, we also have a lot of amenities like eateries. And then we also have very close schools nearby, good schools, within 1 kilometer away.
We're talking about the whole Raffles family is here, right? From Raffles Institution, Raffles Girls, Raffles JC, Catholic High, etc. So this is quite a famous school zone, so to speak, in a sense. Because District 20 is very big. So what Irene has said is just within Clover, right? Clover Estate is the most popular. Already District 20 we know is central, but Clover is the most central, closest to amenities than other parts of District 20. So how about the street here?
So if you come along the street, coming down all the way, you'll notice actually this is zoned as a 2-story semi-detached zone.
So that's known terrace houses, right?
Exactly. So that gives you a very different feel coming into the whole estate itself. And number 2, actually, if you look down this entire street, so basically what you get to see is actually this, you get ample parking space coming down the street, not just on the outside, but also on within the house itself. And then lastly, most importantly, is really this house is the first house, you know, that's facing the Clover Crescent Park itself. So for our park lovers, you really get to enjoy, you know, the serenity and also the, you know, in terms of the lifestyle that the park affords our new owners.
That's right. I think you just mentioned some key points that's very rare, even for landed bungalow, I wouldn't dare to say GCB owners, right? Because facing a park and being the only unit that has, or should I say the first unit that actually gives you unblocked view of the park. That's something that's very, very rare. You can see from the visuals here, this is some stills that will be taken. The view from the park is really, really spectacular. And
Yes.
of course, later we're going to show you how it feels like to be inside facing the park. All right.
Yes.
So besides location, what other factors or what are the main reasons that a lot of buyers have liked about this house? The number one top reason why a lot of buyers like this house or have given their very positive comment is, I think it's very visible behind me now. Can you see the presence? Now, even though it occupies 6,800 square feet, but which by no means is small, but the thing is the presence gives itself an impression of a much larger house. Why so? Because it stretches a length of more than 29 meters. Making it feel bigger. We have GCB buyers who come down as well, and you know what they commented is, how come it feels bigger than my GCBs? Because GCBs have like minimum requirement of only 20 meters. So for a house to have such a presence is really, really rare. Let's not forget, most of the buyers who have come here are actually semi-D upgraders. So for them to want to upgrade to a detached house, besides having more land space, they also want to have, having a very incremental, much more upgraded status symbol like a white presence, right? A white frontage is really, very, very attractive to them.
Yes. So in the interior now, we currently have 5+1 bedrooms, of which 4 are actually on level 2. Okay, comes with the connected bathrooms, and then 1 granage room, and on level 1 as well as a helper's room behind. So the layout is actually very functional. That's what the most buyers feedback. All right. So with its functionality, some of them were thinking of just to retain it, but of course more renovate to the modern looking. Renovate to the modern looking.
That's right.
All right, in fact, where we are standing right now, we are actually right smack in the middle of the house itself.
Yeah, let me point out to you.
Because of the very wide frontage, and in fact, this is where we are standing, we can actually subdivide the house into 2 parts. Each of the house will actually get more than 14.5 meters after subdivision. So in fact, if you have a semi-D or a detached, in fact, you have a very wide frontage, it's even wider than most detached houses.
That's right, right? So last but not least, we rarely show this, only when the last time we actually showed this in the episode as a house in Frankel, we showed it, I think, less than a month after that, it comes with a very, very nice unit number 80, without elaborating much, whether you are superstitious or whether you are Chinese or whatever beliefs you have. I think it's very common knowledge that a very auspicious number like this makes the house a lot more sought after, easier to sell in future as well, right? Now, despite this, you can really see that with this, the size and the scale of the house, it gives, I think, a lot of buyers, it widens the pool of buyers. But at the same time, they all have very different concerns, but among them is one common one which we can address today, which is what is the best way, right? What are the redevelopment options that they can go through, all right, to maximize the value, all right, of this house, given, I think, the very unique qualities that they have. So the next part, stay tuned to the end for the next few parts where we're going to show you each and every of these options, so that whether you are redeveloping, you are retaining, you want to subdivide, you have a much clearer picture. Right? So let's go and take a look, starting from level 1. Now we're going to explore level 1 to address, I think, one of the largest groups of buyers you're going to see, right? They want to retain the structure. As you can see, it has a pretty nice Art Deco look, though, like we said, right, house was built almost 40 years ago. But later we'll start to show you why many buyers actually feel that this exterior or the building can actually be retained, all right? But before we go into the house, you can see from here, once you step in, you really can start to feel how wide the frontage is. The 29 meters you felt outside can be felt inside as well, right? Like where you're standing now, I don't think you can find a car porch that can park 6 cars easily nowadays.
Yes.
Right?
And some of the buyers also feedback that when they step into this house, they really feel it's a detached because of the space of the land size.
That's right. Yeah, you can feel gardens on not just one side. It's actually left, right. Each of these garden plots are big. Okay, you can see on that side, and even this plot as well. Of course, you can repurpose this into also a parking lot. But like I said, we already have 6 parking lots, 2 under the shed, and then 4 outside here. We've tried parking the 6 cars here before. Now, this gives you really, like what Irene said, the wide frontage and the presence. I think a lot of semi-D upgraders right, are feeling. This also attracted some GCB downsizers, quite interestingly, because they're already staying at big houses. So they are used to having, privacy. You notice we are quite far away. There's no big houses, and the opposites are all semi-Ds, right, in a sense. So when they first come in, you feel, no, wow, this house actually has that kind of presence, frontage, and privacy that a lot of those GCB owners are used to. Okay, what is on this side is another garden. They have a nice little walkway, a patio, where the owners actually like to sit down here, have their tea as well. You can imagine, I think if you wake up here in the morning, you come here, you can really feel the size of the house, right? So while having your breakfast, morning tea, your children can run around, cars can come in and out. The bungalow feel is very, very evident, very evident. That's one of the reasons why people don't want to maximize the build up further by redeveloping. Now, the next part we're going to show you is the important part, right? I think, which is Irene, I think the buyer's part is also your favorite part, correct? About the views. So, skirt around the corner, you can start to see what it means to live, right? Just beside a park. So, from here, you can tell. One thing about this is we are separated between the park, not just by a high wall, all right? You also notice that we are actually on the elevated land. Elevated land as well. So, privacy. Frankly, some buyers who may have concerns initially, then you realize that actually no, nobody from the park can see us in a sense. So there's two huge trees here. By the way, this house is now northwest facing. West is basically coming diagonally from the side. Right? As a detached, we always have exposure to sun from all sides, but the west sun is strategically blocked actually by these two trees.
These two trees provide a lot of shades because they are very mature. So inside the house, although this is like the west facing, like what Willie said, you don't feel the heat from the afternoon sun at all. This is what most of the buyers have feedback.
That's right. Right. So you come a bit further in now, you can also start to see the side also because not just the frontage is 20+ meters, the side itself is also more than 20 meters, and this is very evident here. And this is where I think a lot of landowners really crave, to have something so close to the park. You have the privacy, and you also have this beautiful scenery, right? Elevated scenery. And later from level 2, we can see a lot closer. What does it mean, right, to have that? Even if you rebuild it like what we say, and you're going to share later, one part of this house is going to enjoy, I think, this full frontage. Okay, so if you go to the other side of the house, Irene, you also mentioned that one side, a lot of buyers like the other side because it's very, very wide, correct? Is that more than 4 meters wide is actually given a lot of buyers a lot of ideas. So this is where we have actually engaged professional architects and builders as well to give us some ideas what can we do if we were to choose to A&A, right? A&A. Now, so first thing from outside here, can you see from here? This is more than 5 meters wide. 5 meters wide is almost like a width of an inter-terrace house, right? You can imagine the amount of space here. In fact, actually, besides parking at the car park, you can also choose to park your car here. But you can see from the visual here, this architect proposal is actually to do an elevated pool. It's a very nice sanctuary, that you can see from from this here, and that's I think a lot of input from a lot of buyers as well. Right?
Because they feel that at this place, right, because of the land size is huge. So the surrounding land, what can they do with it? So they come with options to enjoy the garden space, and for their children, they prefer a pool. So that from the dining area inside there, they can actually watch over the kids while they're enjoying the outdoors.
This is quite surprising to us that a lot of people actually want to retain. They don't need to maximize it because the inside space is really quite big. So this can be a pool, like what you can see here. Can also be a pond. It can also be a pavilion, sheltered, so-called entertainment area as well. So you can actually do an extension from your dining, which Irene has said. So you can just walk up. In fact, actually, this part can also be part of the extended outdoor patio al fresco dining, right? Leaving this part for your pool, in a sense. Okay. Now, next we're going to come into the car porch. Now, this is quite interesting because right now you can park 2 sheltered cars here. But remember, we said that the front porch is long because this is actually more than the 7.5 meters width. So from here to there, it's almost 12 meters. So this means that this entire area can be covered. How does it look like after being covered up?
After being covered up, right, actually this one can be turned into your dining area. So you can have a very well-defined dining area, and then the living area And then also the kitchen area, they are all separated.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, for full
separated,
maximize
but
of
yet
space.
from this angle, you can see actually you can see this visual here from here. Once you step in, the entire living space, right? It's not just maximized in terms of square footage, but in terms of the connectivity. Because right now you have 2 walls here. So in this concept that we propose, this wall can be removed. It's not a structural wall, except for pillar there. This wall can also be removed as well. So the whole concept from the floor plans you see very clearly is that we are actually regularizing, right?
Yes.
Basically the entire plot into like almost like a perfect square, which is very difficult even for detached houses.
Yes.
Right? With this, once you step in, you feel the enhancement. Because where we are standing at now, this is almost more than 350 square feet. So you add this square footage inside, I think the living area is going to be much more enhanced, right?
Yeah.
So now let's take a look inside. We said this is not a new house, so don't be surprised by basically the interior condition, but what is important despite this, right? 40-year-old house, of course, a lot of people have commented, like coming into a museum, in a sense, right? They enjoy like coming back, stepping into history. Of course, the house well-being, is still very well maintained.
Yes.
But one thing that surprises a lot of eyes when they come in is the very high ceiling.
Yes, they're surprised because back then, right, this house is about 40 years ago built. But back then, it's very rare to have a ceiling so high.
Yes.
And then you look at...
It's more than 3.5, right?
Yeah.
About 3.3
and
to
look
3.5
at all
meters.
the windows on top, allowing natural light to come in.
That's right.
Yeah, so this is something that the owners has already thought of back then.
Yes, high ceiling is very important because that's something that A&A renovation without tearing down can't enhance. So we've come across many examples where if you have a high ceiling, a lot of things can be done to retain and to modernize the place, right? Give it a very fresh look. So you can see the high ceiling here, and also the owners have done an extension on this side, which we recommend in the new proposal to remove, all right, so that the entire square footage is big. Because once we have the incremental space at the car porch, we no longer need this space. And just now we were outside, we felt that it would be better if this is removed to give even more breathing space, right? So you feel that your garden is not just the front, but actually surrounding the side as well.
Yes.
So this will be like an extension or a welcoming entrance before you enter or have the bird's eye view of the big park that you see beside us. Okay, so coming back into the living hall, so with a few steps up, okay, now it reaches, like I said, bungalows in the past, I think they are very well segregated because they have space, right? So the living and dining is separated. Irene, what have buyers said about this house?
Wow, they are actually very impressed because the dining room presently is so big that you can look at it, it can actually hold more than 10 people if you entertain a lot.
Yes.
All right, so they feel that this is a very functional layout, which is also in line with most of the upgraders from semi-detached owners because they have probably big families that entertain a lot.
Yes.
So this place comes very useful for them to entertain.
Correct. I think usually the living room is the center of the house right now. This dining, if you love dining, entertaining, I think gathering with your friends and family, you will realize because you notice this is connected not just to the living room. Remember, this wall can be knocked down as well. Once this is knocked down, you can see the openness. Right? From here, imagine you're dining breakfast or even a heavy meal, you can see the entrance straight away. Right, there's a new dining area, to be honest, because in the new concept, we're going to put a dining there. This will become a dry kitchen, right? A dry kitchen so that you can modernize it with this island top. You can do some light preparation here as well. And importantly, when we talk about connectivity, it's also connected to the outdoor patio on the side. Okay, so can you imagine when even you're doing your light cooking or dining there, you can look at the nice pool and the greenery that we have proposed, right, to install here. Okay. So with this dry kitchen, then next what we're going to keep intact is actually the wet kitchen. Okay. Now this wet kitchen, if you come in here, so houses in the past, they prefer to actually keep the wet, and then we call this like a wetter area. All right. So this is really quite big. But in the proposal that we have, you notice there's still some additional space here. So we're going to break down this wall and then extend it all the way to the side. Okay. So you can see from the floor plan now, the red part is actually the incremental space. So once you push this out actually all the way to the side while still keeping within the thing, you actually get a lot of incremental space. Okay, so your kitchen will actually be extended all the way. So remember, this is just a wet kitchen. All right, you can combine this with your laundry area if you want to, while at the same time not blocking your view of the garden as well. So you notice that just now the view of the park can be seen from many parts of the house, including here. So imagine when you're doing your cooking
preparation,
especially when you have you yourself like to cook, your old folks like to cook. Imagine doing your food preparation here. The park is just in front of you, right? Very nice. And also the extension part also covers this part. What do we have here? Ari?
Okay, here is currently a
helpers
helper's
here.
room, but it does not have a toilet. So with the new extension plan, they're going to include a bathroom for the helper's room
Yes,
as well.
yeah.
So the helper will have their own privacy
Yes.
place.
And if you look at the size, this is actually big enough for 2, if not even 3 helpers.
Yeah.
All right. So if you look at the plan, so then it becomes a little helpers
House
on
corner.
play. Yeah, their own little
Exactly.
space on
Yeah.
this side, which is away, tucked in one corner away from the rest of the house, and but yet still connected to the kitchen in case help is needed. Okay. So next we can take a look at start to see the first room. So of course in the plan that we have here, we've started to add also like a powder room. Okay, right now there is one bathroom now, which is important, right, for all families. So there's a storeroom here which we're going to keep. There is a bathroom here, which we're going to convert purely, basically, just for a guest. All right, just for guests. Now this is actually shared also with the granage room on the first floor.
Yes.
So this can be extended, and we're going to enter first. This is the first room. Okay, again, same thing. What you see is the high ceiling.
Yes,
very, very high ceiling as
Yeah.
well. All right, this room is about more than 130 square feet, actually, compared to some of the condos, right? It's actually
Yes.
bigger than some condo master bedrooms.
Yes,
all right, it
correct.
feels now a bit more congested because of a lot of big shelvings
cabinets,
here.
yeah.
You can see cabinetry. But the new proposal, we're actually going to open this space up because this behind actually is the facing of the park. So with this down, because it's being removed, and very importantly, this room can also be extended.
Extended out.
Right, extended as well to the same length as the kitchen. Again, as you can see from
Yes.
the plan there. So this will become very nice first floor, ground floor room.
Yeah, we're also going to, in the plan, you're going to have another ensuite
Yes,
bath
correct.
for this granny
Just
room.
behind this bathroom.
Yeah.
So this will become a ensuite bathroom. So
Correct.
with that, for I think families with either elderly folk, they don't
Yeah.
want to climb to level 2,
Correct.
or they want to have a, let's say, a entertainment area here,
Yes.
multi-purpose room for children. I think to be honest, even if I would stay here, I will fight for this room because there's very nice
Very
view.
nice view,
Yeah,
right?
very nice view.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quite a lot of people are very surprised by the fact that this has very nice view of firstly the own private garden, but next also the park beside it as well. All right.
Yeah.
So what do you think of the proposals? Do you think that a lot of buyers will like this?
Oh, I think this proposal is good because it actually addressed a lot of the buyers' concern that we
Yes,
have
that's right.
encountered so far.
Correct. Yeah. It's very important. This time round, actually, when we engage our architects to create, of course, we have some concepts in mind, but we actually take in their inputs, right, in
Yes.
terms of the collectively, what are some of the things that most buyers want to incorporate. And then we brief our architect, and here is the plan. So a lot of the buyers can now benefit from
Yes.
a very solid, very professional plan that's being drawn up for them. Right? So here's for level 1, okay, which will give you almost an incremental space of, let me see, almost 200 plus square feet. All right, that's after minusing. You're going to add actually about 400 plus at the back, and then by removing this, you still get incremental 200 plus square feet of space.
Yeah.
Okay, how about level 2? Let's take a look together with Raymond. Yes. So Raymond, one of the things that many buyers have commented, right, say, hey, how come there's so many walls, right? And we totally agree with them, right? So many walls. I think these are firstly purposeful. I think it's intended. The owners wanted a very Art Deco feel, just a stretch of light without compromising on privacy. I think
exactly.
40 years ago that was their priority. But frankly, if we were to redo this entire wall, you can see from the visual here, imagine if this is removed, right? If this is removed, then you have lots and lots of ample light. Not forgetting this has also partial park view as well.
Exactly.
So imagine when you come up here, every day you stare at the big trees. I don't know whether the camera can see, all right? Just in front is already a huge mature tree there, right?
Exactly.
So Raymond, what would you do to level 2 based on the feedback?
So
that
as
you
we
get?
come up to level 2, all right, what you get here currently is actually 4 bedrooms. All right. So as we head down in, we actually get this very wide,
Very nice walkway.
space.
Correct.
Yeah,
You give the light in front.
the hallway. So as we head into one of the bedrooms over here, all right. So this is actually the current master bedroom.
Junior master
Junior
bedroom.
master bedroom.
One thing about this second floor, to be honest, a lot of buyers are very happy with it because you actually don't need to do any structural reconfiguration because it's only 4 rooms and 4 rooms are all attached to bathrooms already. All right. So and then next, what is important about level 2 is basically the views. Firstly, of course, the size of the rooms. You can see from this. This is quite a big room already by itself. This master bedroom is already more than 400 square feet, 430 square feet. So you have wardrobes there, pretty high ceiling. Again, we emphasize on level 1. This is a king size bed and still there's a lot of space, right? In that sense. Now, can you see from here, this will be the view that you will get, right, if you were to stay here, and it's what I think captures a lot of buyers' attention,
Yes,
right,
exactly.
and interest as well. Can you imagine waking up here, just staring at the park every day.
Exactly. I think
Yeah.
it's really a very lovely thing, and a lot of
Yeah.
buyers who come here actually they tell us, they really love the very serene environment of the park.
Yeah, correct. And can you see there's a carport here? There? All right. Remember, this house is not fully maximized, right? So if you look at the plan now, this is where we propose to make the largest enhancement via a A&A, right? Addition and alteration. So a structural extension of this wall all the way to the edge there, where you can see. All right,
Exactly.
because when you do that, we first brings us closer. Firstly, of course, enlarges the size of the junior master. Incremental size, this will be almost like 600 square feet, right? Almost like a master bedroom size.
Exactly.
Only. But once you bring it out there, you can see it. And then the bathroom is actually repositioned. Because right now there's a bathroom here, and then there's a balcony. Can you see this, right? But in the new plan that we have proposed is actually to change you can still keep the bathroom here, and then you can actually afford to have a walk-in wardrobe here. Or personally, what I would do is actually I can maybe swap this around.
Yes.
Right? Put the walk-in wardrobe here, put the bathroom here as well. Because with the enhanced length, all right, you also get a lot of exposure. And with windows at this corner, frankly, I always tell buyers this is actually the pivotal point. From this, you can actually imagine this is a clear glass. You are literally looking straight into the park directly. All right?
Exactly.
So this extension actually doesn't just stretch here, it goes across to the next 2 rooms as well. Maybe you can
Let's
show
head
us.
on to the other room.
You notice we have not switched on, okay, except for this light, yeah, the whole place is pretty bright by
So the
itself.
fact that this is actually a detached, so gives us, you can see the window openings all around the rooms itself, gives us a lot of ample light and ventilation.
Yeah.
So this is also something that, our buyers when they come here,
Yes.
they really enjoy.
Yes, correct. So this room, you can see when the owner designed this, I think little niches like this are really practical because all the wardrobes they have designed so far are all flushed in. Creates a lot more, I think it's a lot neater experience. And of course, it's very high ceiling as well, right? Still more than 3 meters tall. So you can just repurpose this, take this out, and then install new wardrobe. These are just simple ways of renovation, which is also included in our renovation concept in case you don't want to do any extension. But coming back to the extension, A&A, basically the same rooftop that you saw just now, this part can also be extended such that this entire sideline, right, basically the side or the rear frontage of this is now fully aligned. So you have a full straight line there, and this will be the part that increases the room size the largest, so to speak. Okay, and this is important because right now these 2 rooms are all Jack and Jill. Right, by Jack and Jill, I think we can show you the next room. Next,
So as we come into
they're
this
sharing a bathroom.
Jack and Jill bathroom, currently is sharing between this room and the other room itself. So as you come into this Jack and Jill bath, you can see it's actually connected to the other bedroom. So if you look at the A&A proposal that we have for the new owners, actually, if you want for the current room that we are standing in, you can actually configure a walk-in wardrobe just before, having a separate ensuite bathroom as well. So as we come right in to the next room, all right, this room is also very sizable.
Yeah.
Right. So really, what do you like about this room
So
itself?
you can see here, this is now the second so-called room after that, right? But after that, it's enhanced further. This room can actually retain its size because right now by itself, this is already, let me see, this is already almost 268 square feet. All right, it's actually a very, very big room. It's almost double the 130 that you saw just now. Same thing, you have a high ceiling. This is facing the front, of course. In both the renovation and the enhancements, the old fixtures and things like all these splice and the visors, all this can be removed. After that, you can change the glass and face the front, have more natural light coming in, right? More natural light coming in. And once this bathroom, by the way, is converted to be that, actually another bathroom can be created here as well. Once again, you take a look at this plan, this will become actually the bathroom for this, and the new bathroom will be created for the other room, such
exactly.
that both rooms will become ensuite. Now, this is important because for now, a level that has 4 bedrooms, it really entices a lot of semi-D upgraders.
Exactly.
Yeah, why? So because of most semi-Ds now, maximum you have is maybe 3 rooms on 1 floor. This one has 4 rooms now. So imagine, besides the master, you still can have a junior master. Maybe means that what, you can have 2 couples staying here. Right, it could be a 3-generation family, right? It can be 2 couples, or you want that's already married, or you can have 3 children. But no matter what, each of the 3 children will have their own ensuite bathrooms, bedrooms.
Correct. I think the new owners will really enjoy the privacy as well as the spaciousness of the new rooms that we're going to configure for them.
Yes, correct. And yet, each of them, because they're all corner, you realize that from the plans in this square, each of them occupies a corner. A corner layout is always sought after because of the lights that you get from 2 sides of it, in a sense.
Exactly.
And yet, they share a communal space, right, which is right here. Now, the last room, this is the largest room of all. And in terms of large, the space is this is now more than a 300 plus square feet. Right, more than 300 over square feet, and you can see the space instantly. There's the master bedroom. You can see that there's a king size bed on this side. The wardrobes are just behind Raymond. You can see again, all these are already fitted in, wall to ceiling. Repurposing, replacing them is a very simple so-called carpentry job.
Exactly.
Right? And then if you want more, this row is where you can do another row of carpentry as well. Right, obviously the flooring is actually quite quality wood. It's now even for 40-year house, you can see the owners are protecting this quite well. Exactly. Re-varnished, I think the whole place will look quite new. Plus, of course, the changing of windows as well.
Correct.
Right?
And not forgetting, I think this side also, if we pan around here,
Yes.
if you look out from this window itself, you will be pleasantly surprised that actually this also allows you to have a very nice view of the Clever Crescent Park just right behind us.
Yes.
Right. So for some owners, they might want to actually do glass panels if you really enjoy the views of the park.
Yes.
And at the same time, if you want some privacy, you can also install shades or blinds to have privacy.
Exactly, right? So in the proposal, we actually retain these glass panels on this side, giving us some privacy wall for you to place your bed against. But in return, I think to enhance or to compensate for the wall here is that this balcony is totally repurposed or remodeled, you can see here, right? Because this is quite a big balcony space, right? Because this has very nice view of the front, right? Unblocked view. You can see the front parts, both gardens here as well. So with a new balcony, whether you want to enclose it or not, or you want you to actually create or combine these two together, is up to you. Right, but what we think is for bungalows to have a nice balcony that's sheltered, I think it's a very nice touch.
Exactly.
Right, for buyers the owners, who you wake up, you still want to have a bit of privacy to the external environment. I think this space is a very welcoming change. Right.
Exactly.
Okay. So from here you can see this room while being untouched after the renovation concept. Of course, by the way, this concepts, the cost, right, that later we will share later, probably less than what you think, actually includes the removal, changing of the entire roof as well. So basically you're keeping the structure. And the professionals have come in, several groups, not just ours, even the buyers, architects and contractors have come in. All of them say the structure can be kept. Right? Structure can be kept. Of course, you change the roof because the layout that you can see very evidently after the second level house tour is very, very functional.
Of course.
Yeah, it's very, very functional. Even more functional than some of the brand new detached houses. I think this is said many times from a lot of the buyers who have attended our open houses. Okay, right? What do you think of these 4 rooms? Is that something that you are looking forward to as well? All right. By the way, there's also a bathroom on this side. You can see, of course, now there's the size. Importantly, is big, so that can be again. Frankly speaking, whether you're buying a 40-year-old house, 30-year-old house or 20-year-old house, you always redo the bathroom. So I think having a house, it's just like buying, Raymond, like what they say, like buy HDB old ones, right? A lot of people like to buy old HDB now.
Yeah, correct.
Right? So same thing, you buy as old as possible so you don't pay any premium for renovation that the current owner has actually put in terms of cost, and then you end up wasting money to redo as well. So getting an old one like this is very straightforward. The owner does not expect any so-called value in the renovation, which gives the new owner I think a lot of freeway and also cost saving as well to redo the way that you want it. Okay?
Exactly.
Right. So now let's come back to the, you can see the family hall here. And with this, I hope you can really see why this second floor is actually in a good condition enough, right? Layout for a lot of buyers to want to retain and maximize.
Exactly.
All right. So if you have any questions on this, of course, feel free to drop us now in the DM. This is, by the way, a live program, so drop us there, and we can also start to ask you as well. Of course, a lot more information is kind of up next. All right. So with this, let's join Irene on the first floor. After understanding the very detailed A&A and renovation potential of this house, now how about buyers want to subdivide this into 2 plots? Okay, let's take a closer look. So again, remember what Raymond said earlier, that this land plot is actually eligible for subdivision into 2 semi-Ds, right? Based on criteria such as the land size, the frontage, and the fact that we are in a semi-D zone. So again, this is the middle of the house, and you can look at the diagram here. The most obvious way is to subdivide this very wide plot into 2, and with it, you can still get for each of the plots still about 14 to 15 meters wide in width, right, in terms of frontage. Each of these 2 new semi-Ds, one will be facing the park, one will be closer facing inwards. The one facing the park in the proposed plan that you can see here is slightly smaller, occupies a land size of 3,250 square feet and a build-up area of 5,200 square feet. All right. The inner facing ones tends to be slightly larger and occupies a land size of about 3,577 square feet and build-up area of about 5,005 square feet. So you can see from the numbers, actually once you tear down and rebuild into 2 semi-Ds, you actually get a lot more incremental square footage in terms of usable space now, which now crosses more than 10,000 square feet. You may be asking, of course, some buyers, a lot are asking, how long will this take? The construction process of this will be about 1.5 years, all right, 1 year, 6 months to 9 months. Construction costs quoted by our architect is going to be about $2.6 to $2.8 million per house. So combining both will be about $5.4 to $5.5 million, all right? So how about now buyers who also ask, all right, if they want to rebuild into 1 new detached?
For buyers who want to rebuild into a new detached homes, the concepts are endless. All right, they can have a modern, contemporary, or even minimalistic or brutalist architectural concepts, fully leveraging on the huge land size here.
So essentially what you're getting is a brand new 2 or 2.5 story detached house, around 9,800 square feet of build-up, 3 times more than what you currently see here. And not forgetting, you get a brand new lift, pool, and 6 to 8 rooms for all your family members. So essentially the cost is only $5 million, but what you get in exchange is a lifetime of satisfaction and creative expression.
That's right. I think so far we have mentioned a couple of numbers here. I think the next slide you can see now on the screen is basically a summary of all the options that were presented so far.
Yes.
So whether you are just thinking of a makeover, that means a renovation or A&A, or to rebuild into a pair of semi-Ds or a new detached, you can see from the charts here, right, in summary, the incremental build-up space, I think the duration is required from as fast as 4 to 6 months all the way to 1 year and 9 months. And very importantly, the cost as well. Now, when you see the numbers in millions of dollars, right, or stretching from, let's say, $600,000, people may think it will take a long time or may not be feasible. But with all this, they are quoted by professional architects and builders. I think you'd be rest assured that all the costs stated, right, from $600,000 all the way to $2.8 million, all these are achievable.
Yes.
Now, very importantly, so if you were to combine all these numbers together with the sale price, is you're going to get actually the PSF, right, per square foot of between $1,008 to $2,005. So you can see here the first 2 options are all the above below, now $1,900 per square feet. And compared to a similar renovated detached house that was transacted just in July last year, that was actually at $2,000 per square feet. So this is significantly lower. What is even more significant is the next 2 options, which is redevelopment, all right, into semi-Ds. You can see from the chart here, all 3 options for redevelopment into new detached or semi-Ds will cross about $2,500 per square feet, compared to a brand new semi-D that was sold just in July last year that actually crossed $2,900 per square feet. So you can see the significant savings in value if you buy and redevelop this, all right, rather than buying this from the open market. So I hope this concise summary, I think, can cater to and address the concerns of all the buyers, the different groups of buyers who have come to see this house, right, and be assured that buying this house actually will give you superior value.
Now, it's been a while since a house with so many enhancement possibilities has entered the market, and we are glad to start the new year with this rare gem.
Indeed, plus now it's available for sale at below valuation price, something we will see less of as the market is showing more signs of optimism since the end of last year.
Speaking of market size, we at HLD are happy to share with you that the latest, very sought after quarterly landed market analysis will once again be broadcast about 2 weeks later on 14th of January, Tuesday at 8 p.m. Until then, if you and your family members are keen to take a look at this very rare bungalow plot in very prime Clover, feel free to give any of us a call. Once again, my name is Willie.
I'm Irene.
And I'm Raymond.
See you at the next episode of Huttons Landed Divisions
Live Open House.